How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of collab beer reviewness from a couple breweries I kind of dig. In the form of Russian Duck Brewing via Community Beer Works, via Brooklyn Brewing at the CIA. It's their Unironic Tweed. I've actually never had this before. I was at the brewery when they released this. I bought some bottles. I sent it to some people out and about in the world, but I haven't had it yet. It's been sitting in my fridge. It's got to be 6 months. It has to be 6 months. Has to be. But yeah, it's just been sitting and sitting and sitting, and I went, I want a fucking barley wine. So we're going to drink a fucking barley wine. As far as what it says in here, Unironic Tweed is a barley wine style brewed in collaboration with Community Beer Works and Brewery at the CIA. So Brooklyn Brewery, Garrett Oliver has kind of a satellite thing going on up there at CIA. I actually don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a learning portion of the show, or they just let him do some contracting there. I know he's been doing almost all of his beer up at Matt Z or whatever it is, Adventures up there, the Saranac Brewery for forever. But yeah, I haven't had anything from Community Beer Works in can or bottle. I have had them on draft well up in New York. So yeah, handcrafted in Orange County, New York. Barley wine style, 10%. A New York State barley wine brewed in collaboration with Community Beer Works and Brewery at CIA. Brewed and bottled by Russian Duck. That's it. So I repeated stuff a bunch of times. I've done that before. And it's, lettering on a tweed kind of sweater vest thing. What do you want? Not a sweater vest. What do they call it? I wore one for my wedding. What do they call it? Those suit vests things. I wore a tweed one, actually, at my wedding. So there you go. Yes, me and tweed. It can happen. But, I mean, honestly, Russian Duck knows their way around barley wine. So if they're doing a collab and they're involved with it, I am kind of pumped, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Pinky finger. Rocky. Gravity-defying rockiness, actually. Just off-white, kind of not really khaki, just somewhere right around there, apple ciderish kind of color head. And she's got a soft murk to her. Nothing too crazy. Definitely got a bit of light through it. Soft carbonation. Just rich, kind of washed-out caramel copper penny color to her. So, yeah. Good nose. Yeah, it's like apricot jam had a baby with like soft washed out caramel. There's an apple vibe to it. I know I said apple cider. I think I plant stuff in my head, but it's a soft fermented apple component to it. Really not much as far as bittering goes. It's all about the sweetness in this thing. Say nice rich sweetness across the board, whether it be that kind of jaminess. It's more like marmalade-y jaminess as opposed to like a fruited portion of the show. It's a little bit more sweet, and then you get that little bit of kind of a reddish kind of fermented apple, and then a little bit of soft kind of caramel floating around in there. So it definitely has like a barley wine, but erring in the side, like, and there's like some kind of like unique yeastiness maybe going on, some kind of like cider vibe to it. That's what I'm getting. Let's dive in. Cheers. That's a barley wine. That's exactly what that is. It's like literally the definition of an English barley wine. But before it's gotten to the point where it's matured into something that this guy usually goes bonkers for. It's kind of one of the reasons why I let it sit. Probably one of the reasons why I should have bought a couple and let them sit really long. It's rich maltiness. Nothing too crazy though. It's not over the top. You're getting a little bit of soft kind of burnt sugar erring in the caramel, not necessarily into that kind of toffee, date figgy range yet. It hasn't gotten there yet. There's a real soft bitterness in there. I think that's just ghost of not much hops past that is just there for you to utilitarian reasons, but still, I think this beer is meant for the long haul. So just a little bit of touch of soft bitterness. It's not an American barley wine, it's an English barley wine. Nice mouthfeel to it. It's dense, but it's not creamy or thick or any of that stuff. It's just dense. Yeah, it's about a year away I'm starting to get a little bit of tannic vibes and a little herbaltiness, to getting to the point where I believe it gets to where it starts to show. It gets a little showy. Starts to turn and churn into something a little bit more robust, a little bit more pretty. Big problem I have with this is this guy. I kept this in my beer fridge the whole time. I kept this in a beer fridge, top shelf, probably rocking it like 48 degrees the whole time. I don't know why. It just was in there. I didn't think about it. It's me being a dum-dum. I should have tucked this away somewhere 60, 65 degrees, give or take, and just let it see what it developed into. With a little bit higher temperature, not necessarily 65 plus, but somewhere around 55 to 60 degrees probably would have been perfect. I think it might have matured a little bit faster, a little bit better. But yeah, it's nice. It's a nice barley wine. It's a nice example of a textbook, which is kind of funny because it kind of makes sense because you're talking about, two breweries doing a kind of almost like school learned thing at the CIA about brewing. I don't know if this is something that they actually did with students there at CIA, or it's just a beer they end up making at, Rushing Duck as like a bunch of brewers getting together or whatever. Regardless, it's a little bit simplistic, not in a negative way, but very textbooky, as I said. And that's kind of weird because it's kind of outside of my typical experience with Rushing Duck. They tend to be a little bit more kind of kooky and weird and a little bit more rich and robust. Again, granted, a lot of stuff I have from them in the Barleywine range has been barrel-aged, so that brings a whole new twist to it. But it's fun, it's nice, it's textbook. I can get down with it, but it's not going to blow me away by any means. Beer is so diverse and so unique nowadays that it tastes like this is like a base for something to be messed with, whether it be adding something to or throwing in a barrel or just letting it sit for an extremely long period of time. Until it turns into something super pretty. But that's the saving grace of this. If you have one of these laying around or you see this on a shelf, buy it. Buy it. Let it sit. No joke. Let it sit for about 5 years. And I think you'll end up with something pretty fucking awesome. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better barley wines I've had as of late. No. It's tasty. It's nice. I'm not saying no because it's not a good beer. It's just a little bit uninspiring to me. Value and availability. It's Rushing Duck. It's barley wine. It probably costs less than $10. Maybe right around $10. I don't know. Maybe $11. I actually did hike their prices up a bit, but nothing too crazy. And leave you with brewery only. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like English barley wines, end of sentence. Period. And communication. This is English barley wine, but you like it fresh. You like it without age. You like it without all bunch of bits and pieces being fucked with. You want the pure juice, son. This is gonna give it to you. Give it to you in a pretty, pretty way. Age it really long. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me doing the whole podcasting stuff. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little barley wine right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.